Denise with Wondubar Crafts. Today I'm going to start part 2 of the Create With Me. I'm going to start the cover for this journal that features the Practical Beekeeper by Seneca Pond Crafts. And so what I did was pulled out some fabrics and laces and stuff that I might want to use. Of course, I can always add to it. That is the one great thing about doing a cover that's slow stitched, that I won't put the cover on until almost last thing. If I want to add something later, I can add it. So, because once you glue it on there, you can actually hand stitch you can still hand stitch stuff on there. It's a little bit tricky. It can be done. However, I like to put that's one of the last things I do, is to construct the actual, I'll do the cover, then after everything's all ready to put in, then I'll put the cover on the book and then go from there. So, I just pulled out a little bit of trim and stuff, but I got this beautiful blue jean fabric, and it's got all this crochet on it, and I just thought, I gotta use that. I have to use that. So I'm going to use this as the base for the cover. And, you know, I thought about another sorry closure, but I have enough of this fabric that I can cut. And I'm thinking I could sew a couple pieces together and make like a blue jean, because I love how it frayed like that on the ends. You know, a little blue jean cover, maybe put some eyelet lace or something like that on there. I was thinking, who knows, things can change. So I got that, and then I pulled out some fabric that I want to make some strawberries on there. Not a bunch, I don't want the whole thing covered with strawberries, just a few with some leaves. And so I pulled some fabric that I thought would look good as strawberries, right? But like some background, and then maybe a smaller piece in there to represent the strawberry that's patterned. And then I got all these little lovely swatches of fabric from my friend Amy, Crafty Cat. Hi, Amy. And I've kind of been hoarding them, and I don't want to use them all up. But they're just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous collection of fabrics. So I want to use some of these possibly to make some strawberries as well. And I'm going to have to dig out, probably find some green, or maybe cut something like this out as a leaf, so it has the green on it already. So we'll do some of that. I can either print a pattern, and then that's normally what I would do, is print the pattern and then trace it onto some freezer paper, and then iron it because then I flip the pattern and then iron, so it's the wrong side onto the fabric, and then cut around it. But I got this new Cricut, and it's supposed to, it only cuts bonded fabric, but there is I guess a way that you can put stabilizer, like freezer paper, on the back of your, iron it to the back, and then it will cut then. So I bought a cutting blade for it. It's not supposed to be here till Thursday, and I'm getting a little impatient, so I don't know. I may still do it the other way. I don't know. We'll see. You know? So I got that, and then I have some eyelet lace and just some other stuff in here that I thought would be pretty. I have this, I seen this, and my mom was like, oh my gosh, I had fabric like that. I made you guys a top. And I said, you know, the funny thing is, that's what I remember. I had my mom had made me a little blouse, and it was pink like this, and it had eyelet. It was like made of eyelet lace. And then we just wore a t-shirt underneath it. But I seen this and was like, I gotta have it. I actually got it at the Goodwill. So I got quite a bit of it, and I washed it, and it came out really nice. And so I was like, yeah, I got to use a little bit of it. You know, I could cut strips or whatever. And then I've got some of this blue eyelet. That was the bottom of a bed skirt on it. Yep, that's the right side. So I might use a little bit of that. If anything, if I don't use it on the cover, I can use it in tags. And then I have this beautiful doily. And get it the right side. It's got this beautiful flower. And even though it's yellow, I want to pull some other colors. I don't want them all to be pink and blue. You know, the journal itself is, you know, honey themed, and I still haven't thought of a name. I don't know. I was kind of kicking around, you know, something like blue strawberries, honey. Or, you know, honey, it's blue strawberries. I don't know. Something like that, you know, to kind of meld everything together that's in it. I don't know. Still in works. But I thought, you know, maybe I could put this on the front and then some of this end piece or something. I don't know. Like I said, we're just in the beginning stage. And then I've got tons of eyelet lace. I've got different kinds on that. And just some vintage trims. Some other little lacy pieces and some stuffs. I don't know. We'll see. Which I thought, you know, could cut that out, do something with it, or even make it a tag. I've got tons of this stuff. I had like 10 yards of it. So, so that being said, I guess we need to start by cutting the base for the cover. So let me get some of this set aside and get this out and ready to cut, and we'll go from there. So I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. And what I've done is laid out my base piece of fabric on my grid here, on my mat. And I want to kind of give myself about 1.5 inches, because I can always cut it down. But if you cut it too short, you can't put it back. You know, that's the stinky part. But I did cut it wide enough that it gave me about a little more than 1.5 inches on the top and bottom. And so what I'm going to do is measure it. So I want to go to about here. And it does not have to be a perfect cut because there is a lot of space around it. I just like having that extra assurance that should something happen and I need to shift it a little bit, I have room to do that. So I've got some extra pieces here for if I want to do a tag or two or a pocket or something like that, I have it. Now what I'm going to do is, it's centered on there about as good as it's going to get. And you can get these at Walmart or I think like Joann's or any fabric place. Most of them carry them. I don't know if you can get them on the double tip anymore. I think now they have, you either get the blue one or the purple one. I don't know, I've had it for a while, but they may still have them. But since it's blue, I know it's probably not going to show up that well, so I'm going to use the purple, and it is disappearing ink. You just put a little bit of water on there, and it comes right off. So what I want to do is I am going to trace on the right side of the fabric, and you're probably like, why are you doing that, Denise? Well, because I'm going to slow stitch it. I don't want my pieces to go over where the front and the back of the book is, and when I go to stitch it, I don't want to stitch it too far up because I like my threads to kind of hang off the top. It gives that little fringy look, and I like that. So, and you do have to work kind of slow with this, with these markers, because to get a good mark on there, I find anyway. At least I have yet to get one marker that just flows so very well. So just take your time and mark around it. And like I said, it's not a big deal. It's water. It disappears with water. So if you make a mistake, it's okay. Just grab like a little baby wipe or something. Or take a paper towel and just get it a little damp and then just rub over the top of the line and just remark it. Very, very simple. Of course, you can use marking chalk, because that will come off too. If you're an avid or a sewer, and you have like a marking chalk, you can use that as well. All right, let's see. Okay, now I have a nice little line. It's not perfect, but it's there for me. I can see it. So let me take a look. There's some areas here that, let's see if I can just darken it a little bit. Just so I can see it if I'm sewing, hand sewing. Doesn't have to be perfect unless you want it to be, because it's just a guide. Like I said, I've bought these things straight out of the package and still cannot sometimes get them to, unless I go really slow, then it seems to give a really good marking. And some of you may use them and have no problems. It's just me, maybe. Which is probably more like the truth. It's me. So how's everyone's day going? Good, I hope. I was going to do this video yesterday. And I got up and, I was complaining the other day about my neck. It was kind of sore, and it got to feel a little better, but it moved down into my my left shoulder. So yesterday, it was a little sore during the day, and I was kind of procrastinating on whether or not I wanted to do this. And I think I waited too long because it had moved. It had gotten really sore, so it was like I could barely lift my shoulder. And I know it's pretty bad when you have to... you're taking Advil like, you're eating it like you do a bag of M&Ms. It's pretty bad. So I pulled out the heating pad and I slept with it last night, and it feels a lot better, so I figured I better get it done. Alright, so I don't know if I want the pattern this way, or if I want it to go this way. I'm really kind of liking it this way, though. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And then on somewhere in here, I'm going to mark that this is the top, just in case. May never even have to use it, but I have it there as a guide. So now I want to know where my spine is going to be, so that I don't, you can certainly run stuff over, but I want to put like a little vine of strawberries or something down. That's why I want to do strawberries down like the spine. So I want to make sure that I mark, this is where my spine is going to go. And this is another reason why because I turn my fabric, I know where my top is. And you guys probably may not have to do it. You're pretty oriented with up and down. I get confused with left and right sometimes. Okay, so works there. And once again, I'm just using it as a guideline. So that if something goes over, I know it's going to go over onto the spine. I can gauge at that point whether or not I want to do that. Because like I said, I want to leave some space down there to put some strawberries there. Oh, and my friend Allie, hi Allie, finally shared her news, so I guess I can share it now. Both her daughters were pregnant, and they were both due within I think originally within a day or two of each other, or right about spot on. And sure enough, they both came on the same day. I think that is awesome. And one had a boy and one had a girl, and oh my gosh, how exciting that would be to have two grandbabies on the same day. Ooh, same birthday. But you know what? In the long run, over the years, it's probably a good thing. You can have one big birthday party to celebrate both, right? Alright, so got the cover ready to go. Now what I want to do is pull out some things that I want to lay out on here. So I was thinking this has some really beautiful lace already on it, and I don't know if I want to cover it, but I thought with this piece it's so open, you know, it kind of you can still see the pattern on the back. That is hard, you know, because it's very, very pretty. I could, and it'll go over onto the spine a little bit, or I don't want to do the exact same thing on the back as it is on the front. I could put that on the back, like bump it up against the spine, like that, and then you still got all this area here to decorate. Actually, that might not look too bad on both sides, huh? Well, let's cut them and see. We can cut them and lay them out and see. That's the fun of it, right? Is we can cut it, and if we don't like it, we can use it for something else. And I got this whole big square piece here, and I can just cut out the flower if I want. Alright. So, I think, do I want the... take this off too, since we're already here. Yeah. Because if I don't want them, I can always take them off. And I can set them aside to use for something, you know, a little ribbon piece, or, you know, something like that. Whatever. It all works. I probably should use smaller scissors for this. But since I already had them in my hand. Alright. Okay. And then I have this nice big diamond piece, you know, and I can cut it into fours or whatever. Do something with it. Okay, let's see. I can always cut this off here. So, Typically what I like to do is I will place it where I want everything, pin it, take a picture of it. Get that little piece off the center there. I don't like that there. My little scissors. But I take a picture of it. That way, when I go to sew it, even though it's pinned, if there's something I need to take off because it gets in the way, I can take it off and know exactly where I need to replace it again. So, alright. So we can sew that like that on there. And that on there. Now, the flower, I think I could put that back on top there. You know, I think I'm going to take off the little danglies. I'm not feeling them on here at all. At all. So, my son and I were having a conversation over, my daughter said she wants to go see that new movie. It's the new Avengers one, the last one, End something. Anyway, Endgame, I think. And we were discussing like different, you know, the difference between DC and stuff and how they do that, and it's changed so much, you know, because like how many Spider-Man movies they got out? I mean, really? That many. And I understand, you know, creative differences and stuff like that, but I don't know, I think it just kind of got a little out of hand. Alright, I'm thinking that might be pretty right there. I can maybe cut out some leaves and put a couple little leaves there. But I'm thinking, you know, I'm going to have strawberries down here. I need something that represents honey. And I might have to wait until Thursday and, like I said, cut out my strawberries and maybe do like a little, I thought like a little beehive or something, or, I don't know, or a little bee. That would be cute, huh? Or something with a honeycomb. That's what I need. Something with a honeycomb. I don't know. Alright, let me go dig. I'll be right back. Okay, I am back. And I got to thinking about it, and I'm looking at this, thinking, it's not quite octagon, right? The honeycomb is an octagon. Not quite, but similar. So I think what I'm going to do, and I dug for some, I thought I had some little bee charms, but I don't, so I'll have to pick some of those up. But I think what I'm going to do is maybe put like a little bee charm or two on the front and back, and sew those on. So that will be for the next time. But what I want to do before I forget is pin this kind of in place so it doesn't shift too much on me. Pin it in there right, Denise. How about we go at an angle here? I love this part of doing the cover, you know, the sewing part, but my fingers hate me afterwards because I poke myself so much. And I did get some little rubber thumbs, but the pin doesn't stop the pin all the time from going through it. Alright, so now we've got that pinned down. And you know, I was saying, I gotta wait for my blade to come Thursday. Today's Thursday. I don't know what I was thinking. It's coming Saturday. So, okay. Trying to remember where I kind of had that. Like in there. Or maybe up here. No, I kind of like it down here. So let's see if we can pin this piece on there without jamming ourselves. And puckering the fabric. Okay. Yeah, I know my pinning skills. Not the best, probably, but it works. It does what I need it to do. So, alright. So, I think, you know, I might need to raise this a little bit because what I was thinking is, and I'm just going to leave that there and I can move that one around. I know, I just pinned it, right? Because I just thought, well, I think what I want to do is put a little bit of lace trim on the top and the bottom. And I'm going to slow stitch that in. I'm not going to machine stitch it. I don't know if I want blue or if I want white. So, I'm not feeling that blue there. Really not. So, let's pull some eyelet lace trim. I have a couple different sizes, I think. I have a very wide one, and I should have pulled all that stuff out. Well, I kind of do have it partially pulled out, but let's see. Oh, this is kind of, I don't know if I have enough of it, though. I don't know if I have enough to do the top and the bottom. This is kind of pretty. But I don't, I kind of want to, because it kind of, I think, blends too much with the lacy crochet in the back. So, goodness goodness. Oh my, let me find my other eyelet. Okay, I think I might have found something. It's not eyelet, but it's just some lace trim. And what I was thinking is if I put it in there and then run, it's a ribbon style lace so that you can feed ribbon through it with a nice little bit of yellow, I'm thinking. So, let me make sure I've got enough to do. Yep, I do. Okay, I'll just pull that off. And let's see. So it kind of sticks out just a little bit. Alright, and then I don't know if you guys have ever tried to feed this stuff through, but it is not easy. I did this one time before with a pin. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. It actually works pretty good with a safety pin. Do I have a safety pin? Oh, let me find a safety pin. Got my little jar of safety pins. Alright. So, I just take it through the top. And now I can just through the holes and just pull. And I only do a few at a time so that it doesn't get all snagged up and rip my lace, but it makes it a little bit easier. Sometimes I think it's because this particular ribbon has like that little ruffly edge on it. So let me pull a bit through there. And you can feed it through manually too if you want. Sometimes some of the laces or some of the ribbons are really easy to get through, especially if they're real silky. They'll feed through like butter. But no, not mine. I gotta pick the most ruffly one that, you know, gives the most problem on camera, because I just, you know, gotta be difficult that way, Denise. Oh, goodness. All right. It really is easier than this. But you guys know on my channel, it's always something goofy happens. But I think that's what makes it fun. And you guys are probably yelling at me, Denise, there's a better way to do that. And there might be, you know. I don't care. I'm having fun. Laughing at myself. If we can't laugh at ourselves, then who can we laugh at, right? Alright, so now I just need to straighten it out so I make sure that I have plenty of ribbon through the lace. Okay. Cut myself a little extra piece just in case. And I'll have to repeat and do that on the top one as well. But I won't do that on camera. I'll do that off camera, so then that way you guys aren't like going, oh my gosh, again, we gotta watch this again. So then I'm gonna put that on the bottom like that. So when the book cover, it'll have a little piece that hangs off the bottom and a nice little piece that runs across. And I have a little extra on the overage. Tuck it, pull it a little bit. That when my book opens and closes, it'll pull it up a little bit. So, because you got those two gussets that sit on the other side of that, so you want to leave a little bit of wiggle room there. Okay, so let me pull it just a little bit more on this side. Maybe. And there we go with that ruffle. Okay. So let me go ahead and do the other side, and then we'll pin it in place. Okay. I got the second piece threaded through. It was much easier than the first because the camera was not on, of course. And I went ahead and pinned that. This is the top. Or is that the bottom? Oh, that's the top. So I went ahead and pinned it up there. Like I said, that's why I mark it. Alright, so I'll just pin it in place, and really what I'm doing is trying to line where the bottom of this ribbon is to where the bottom of the book or the line is for my book or for my cover. That way that's on the very bottom, and then the little ruffle will hang off the bottom. Just enough. Not too much, but just to give it a nice little pretty ruffly feel. like I said, this I don't even know how long I've been on yet. My iPad doesn't really have a timer. Or if it does, I can't see it because of the way it's flipped to film. So I really do need to put like a little stopwatch or something over here, so I know. But this will probably be split into two, because when I get my fabric cutting blade, I'm going to cut out some strawberries and some leaves and probably some bees. Or a bee. I don't know yet. I might just use charms. Or if I can find some bee buttons or something, that would be cute, I think. So, that is there. I don't really want that on the spine. I mean, it would look pretty if it was laying flat, but my concern is sewing it because it is layered. I don't want it catching on anything. So I'm thinking this might need to go right there. It would be pretty, I think, now that the top and bottom is there. Alright, so let me pin that back down. I'll push it back just a little bit. Don't want to poke myself. And yeah, when I do the strawberries, I'll probably hand applique them. I don't know if I'm going to do that on camera though, because that might take a little bit of time. Because my little fingers sometimes get jammed up. And they want to go, then they don't want to go, then they want to go, then they don't want to go. Alright, so let me see how long. I'm going to have to pull this down real quick and see how long we've kind of been going at it. If we've got a little more time, I might do some more decorating. If not, then we'll come back and do part 2. Okay, yeah, I think we're right about 45 minutes right now. So I think I'm going to sign off. I might do a little bit more decorating, not too much. I don't want to get too far ahead, just in case you guys are going to do something similar or wanting to know how to do some slow stitching. So I will sign off for now and then come back when I get some other pieces. I don't know, I might cut them out and do another before Saturday. So until next time, and we'll do part 3 to try and finish the cover. Until then, plenty of hugs, loves, and blessings. Mwah. Bye, guys.